local, late breaking. You're watching 13 News live this morning.
Right now at 6, a new resource that looks to help out folks getting released from jail. We're going live to 13 News reporter Jack Cooper to find out what this means for Pima County.
And a state facility having trouble with keeping inmates cool enough. We're finding out how the high heat is affecting those in prison.
And it may be a good time to keep an eye on the less fortunate in the heat. To Maricopa County this morning, where another heat-related death has neighbors there shaken.
Good morning and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Sabria Reed.
Happy Friday. I'm Anna Orsini. Starting off with a look at your weather with First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell this morning, because unfortunately heading into our weekend, we're still seeing dangerous heat outside.
That's right. High temperatures likely above 110 degrees again today in Tucson. That will be the 7th day in a row, I believe. So of course we have a warm start as well. 84 currently in Tucson, not seeing those upper 70s like what we saw yesterday. Winds around 10 miles per hour, so there is a breeze. That air is moving a tad. Dew points pretty high, right around 60 degrees. As I mentioned, compared to this time 24 hours ago, many of us warming about 5 to 7 degrees warmer. But some spots like Sierra Vista feeling the cooler air because you all got the best amount of rain yesterday, about 4/10 of an inch in the Sierra Vista, Huachuca City area. Today's forecast: 111 in Tucson, 103 in Sierra Vista, 106 in Nogales, 109 in Green Valley. We do have a good chance for some scattered storms yet again south and east of the Tucson metro, but some better chances for all of us as we head into the weekend. We'll take a look at that weekend forecast coming up shortly.
Thanks, Mallory. And happening now, a new way to help connect people leaving jail with the resources they may need.
It's part of a new system put together by Pima County to help lower the amount of people with non-violent misdemeanors from filling up the jail. 13 News reporter Jack Cooper is at the Pima County Jail this morning. And Jack, tell us about these new transition centers and what they'll do.
Yeah, good morning, you two. When someone is arrested, there are a couple of different things that might happen, whether they are booked and spend some time in jail, or if they are given a court date and asked to come back later. But either way, they will end up leaving through this transition center over here, where they'll be connected with a navigator. Now, that's someone that might have a similar experience to them, and it's someone that is going to help them moving forward. Now, I'm also told that previously, people who were arrested and then released were occasionally being rearrested or wouldn't show up for the court date. But now leaders are working to stop that. Plus, nearly half of people that go to jail get a mental health disorder, and over 60% have a substance use problem. But leaders here tell me they're hoping to help people and set them up for success after what could be the worst day of their life.
How do we handle the fentanyl crisis? How do we handle homelessness and individuals who have frequent justice system interaction? And there's been a lot of progress in this space already, but we know that more needs to be done in order for us to be successful in not only reducing law enforcement and justice system interaction, but also that we get people into housing and the treatment services they need to be able to achieve recovery.
Now, leaders also tell me that once this transition center is fully up and operational, they expect to help 150 people every single month. Reporting live on Mission and Silver Lake, Jack Cooper, 13 News.
All right, Jack, thank you. Meanwhile, there have been climate control problems at the state's Perryville prison. The prison staff says cooling units failed in 2 separate housing areas, but they were fixed in the same day. One of the prisoners, though, says that was after she passed out and had to be treated for heat exhaustion. 2 AC compressors also failed over the weekend, but the prison says those were also repaired. The prison says inmates were moved to air-conditioned cooling centers until those repairs were done. The Department of Corrections says in the extreme heat, inmates get extra showers, extra time in cooling centers, and cold ice water. This morning, a $2,500 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of a man who was wanted for murder in South Tucson. Christopher Rodriguez is accused of killing 21-year-old Lionel Matthews on Wednesday morning. Rodriguez is considered armed and dangerous. Our search of court records show he has a lengthy criminal history and was on parole following his release from state prison in March. Police say if you see him, do not approach him and instead call 911 immediately.
Let's take a look now to your roads as you head out at 6:04 on this Friday morning. The sun is up and looking very nice out there. We have no crashes to report for you so far this morning. Here's a live look to I-10 in Grant and Drexel. Everything moving smoothly. A look at I-19 in Valencia and Julian Wash again. And things looking nicely as you head out the door. Let's take a live look now to your downtown Tucson commute. A little bit of slowdown as people get on their way right there off of I-10 and Congress. Usually slowdown is there. A little bit right on Speedway. People are tapping on the brakes as they get into the downtown area. And if you're looking for a new job, now might be a better time than ever. According to new state economic figures, the job openings rate hits 7%. That's up almost a whole percentage point. While the hiring rate has gone up too, it's still lagging behind job openings. The state's average hourly wage also up this morning, but it still trails the national average. And speaking of jobs, an opportunity to get hired is on the way to Tucson. That's Microstar Logistics. It's a major supplier of beer kegs that's based out of Denver. According to the Daily Star, the company is planning on hiring around 250 workers and putting up an almost 300,000 square foot building on Tucson's southeast side. The new facility will be used for warehousing, distribution, and processing operations. Construction is expected to start in August and finish by July 2024. Meanwhile, in the Phoenix area, record-breaking heat, and it's even worse than ours. The heat in Tucson, or in Phoenix yesterday, just shy of 120 degrees, and this morning, no signs that that heat is expected to cool down too much in the near future. We're told that heat may have taken the life of a veteran found dead inside his home. That man's home is in a Phoenix mobile home park. The Maricopa County medical examiner has yet to confirm his death was heat-related, but his neighbors say his AC hadn't been working for the past few days, and he had contacted the city to fix it. Right now, they believe the broken AC contributed to his death.
But it breaks my heart to think that somebody dies alone in the heat, you know, and it's just a sad, sad thing. And if I didn't have friends, it could happen to me.
So far this year, Maricopa County has confirmed 18 heat-related deaths, and almost 70 other potentially heat-related deaths are now under investigation. That extreme heat isn't just a danger to wildlife and people, it's also threatening our plants. The ones in your yard you likely spend quite a bit of money on. We're learning in this heat, plants, even native ones, will die if not properly taken care of. We know plants can be expensive, and some people consider them almost like pets. If you've purchased a plant recently and it looks dry, wilted, and unsightly, that's just because the summer heat has taken a toll on your healthy plants. And good news, there are some simple steps you can take to protect them from the extreme heat. Listen here.
When we're in record-setting temperatures, even our native plants that are adapted to this climate can start to suffer. So we want to give plants a really good, deep, thorough soaking and then allow them time to get close to being dry before watering them again. Offering them a little shade in the form of, say, shade cloth would be beneficial. As a long-term goal, using things like mesquite trees in your yard to help shade other plants would be beneficial long-term so that you're not having to artificially shade them.
Barton also says to ensure your plants are being watered properly, insert a screwdriver into the soil. If it only goes down 2 or 3 inches, the soil is not soaked enough and you need to add more water for your plant to survive this summer. Mallory, I know we are expecting some rain for those plants.
Yes, we definitely need the rain just because we need the rain, but also to help cool us off because it has been a record July here locally. We have had 5 days so far this month in Tucson. We have broken the daily record. Those are your new records there for the 6th, 16th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. And we've tied 2 record highs on the 15th and 17th of the month. And today we could break another record high. Our record high is 110 degrees today. I'm forecasting 111. Partly cloudy skies are on tap. Of course, it's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. Can't rule out an isolated shower or storm, especially late this evening and tonight. But most of us staying dry in Tucson until we head into this weekend with some better storm chances arriving. About a 30% chance on Saturday. Better chances by Sunday. High temperatures, though, remaining above our climate normal in the upper 90s and lower triple digits for this time of year, with another record high possible tomorrow. So if you're hoping to cool off up in Mount drought limit. Just keep in mind when you head to the mountains, those storms likely bubble up there first most of the time. So get those activities in early because we are tracking a 50 to 60% storm chance up there Saturday and Sunday, but high temperatures much more comfortable in the low to mid 80s. Now we'll talk much more about our rain chances over the next several days. That's coming up here in a few minutes.
6:09 coming up on 6:10 for your Friday morning in Tucson. Some new tenants on the way to the Reed Park Zoo. We've got the scoop on those animals and where they're coming from coming up.
And in Phoenix, record-setting heat won't seem to let up. We're finding out how zookeepers there are doing their best to keep the animals safe and comfortable.
Welcome back at 6:14. Happening now, a couple new arrivals at Reed Park Zoo that are being called the first of their kind at the zoo. That's a pair of blue duikers. It's a tiny antelope species native to African forests. Those two arriving as a breeding pair, the 10-month-old female coming in from a zoo in Maryland, and then the smaller 2-year-old males from San Antonio. According to the zoo, the fully grown animal only grows to be about a foot tall and weighs 7 to 10 pounds, so they're really tiny. They will be sharing a space with some of the ring-tailed lemurs. And down in Sierra Vista, it's a chance for you to get some stuff for your pets. That's happening at the Nancy J. Brua Animal Care Center. Previously loved pet items and some stuff for humans too. All of the proceeds here are going to the Friends of the Sierra Vista Animal Shelter, who help cover costs for spay and neuter clinics. You can check out that rummage sale Saturday, July 29th from 8 until noon.
And now to Phoenix, where animals at the zoo there are suffering in the heat. We're told many species thrive in the dry heat, but with so many record-breaking days over 110 degrees, zookeepers are getting creative to keep the animals safe. They are giving some animals what they call ice treats. That's diluted Gatorade, grapes, chopped pear, and apple. More than 3,000 animals live at the zoo, and just like us, they can have heat stroke too.
Taking a look at your drive to start off your Friday morning, seeing some slowdowns in downtown Tucson, kind of the places that we usually expect to see those. Speedway, 22nd, as people head out towards I-10 to start their Friday morning. If we look right now at I-10 and Grant, things moving along just fine. Same thing with I-10 and Park. I-10 and Speedway, a little bit more traffic, but looks like it's moving along just fine. Same thing with I-10 and 6th Avenue this morning. East side Tucson, what is your drive looking like? So far, so good. A couple little patches of yellow. Other than that, nothing too major, no crashes this morning. So a good start to your Friday morning ahead. Of course, something that you probably are wondering about is that weather. So let's head on over to Mallory.
Good morning and happy Friday. Yesterday was dry for most of us. We did see some isolated showers and storms far to the south and east of Tucson as expected. Sierra Vista, Huachuca City coming in on top with about 4/10 of an inch of rainfall in the bucket yesterday. Lower amounts from there. Now, in terms of our season to date, rainfall totals for monsoon 2023 so far, you can see we're all in the white. Typically, I have the green highlighted if we're above normal, but all of our climate normals are much higher than our season to date rainfall totals so far. Tucson, we're about an inch behind where we should be. Nogales about 2 inches behind. Safford very close, but the rest of us definitely falling behind with this later start to monsoon. The good news is we do have some storm chances on the way, but drought conditions are worsening because of this delayed start. So last week's drought monitor, most of us we were not included in it. But this week we've started to see some updates where that yellow is moving into the southeast, especially southeastern Pima County, Santa Cruz, Cochise, and the Phoenix Metro, seeing some abnormally dry conditions as well. But as I mentioned, storm chances do increase again gradually this weekend and stays pretty steady next week with a much more active pattern. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, looking at about a 40% chance of seeing some afternoon and evening storms here in the Tucson Metro. So certainly something to look forward to there. But we'll take a full look at our 7-day forecast that's coming up here in just a few minutes.
And now on to trending stories on this Friday. You've been so good eating healthy lately, haven't you? But if there were ever a cheat day, today is it. Grab some chips, some ice cream, or cookies. It's National Junk Food Day. Junk food are the foods that are usually high in fat, sugar, salt, and calories and have no real nutritional value. A little bit of history for you. Junk food first took off during World War II when pre-packaged foods became popular. The term junk food was not coined until the 70s though. So stay out of the heat and open a bag of goodies. Enjoy. Happy Junk Food Day. I love a good junk food.
I mean, that's every day for me as I sit here eating M&Ms during the breaks, but Yeah, I mean, celebrate today. Why not? Give yourself a break. Take all the pressure
Give
off.
yourself some grace on a Friday.
Honestly, yeah.
Seriously.
Eat what you want. Truthfully, that's.
And enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy it. Eat it for us. Well, also trending this morning, you may know by now, no secret here, I love animals, all the animals. So here's the story to warm up your heart this morning. In Illinois, university police were on their way to another call when they saw several baby ducklings fall into a storm drain while they were crossing the street. That's when a brave group opened up the sewer cap and they made their way down into the sewer to rescue the babies and return them to their mom. You can see them there, just going back about their way. Since Andrew isn't here, I wonder if those rescuers had to duck when they were underground.
We can't forget his dad joke moments. We still have to add them in even though he's not here.
Keep his spirit alive, yeah.
Exactly. I wonder if they had to duck. You got to do the motion.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to pretend to laugh when I say it.
Well, they put it in, so we don't even have to make it up. We didn't have to think of it.
We didn't even, but Andrew does, which is really impressive.
I know.
I don't know
Good
how
for
he
him.
does it. Well, it's 6:19 on your Friday morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back at 6:22 in sports this morning. Little League Baseball taking the spotlight for the American Legion State Championship. Post 7 Tucson in a winner-take-all Game 3 against Post 73 Crush from Sunnyside. Tucson won the Game 2 with a mercy rule after scoring 20 points for the second straight year. Tucson is your American Legion champ. We heard from one of the team's standout players.
I think once we got our energy turned around, we started going. We started piecing up a couple balls, and we talked about it for the game, and we came together as a team, really.
Right now, that team heading to the West Regionals in Fairfield, California to take on Texas. That game is scheduled for August 2nd.
And happening today in Las Vegas, it's Pac-12 Football Media Day. Wildcat fans are getting excited for that upcoming season. So far, the media picking Arizona to finish 8th in the conference. That's 3 spots better than they picked last season. Right now, USC is the runaway favorite to win the conference title. Just off of this list here, you see on your screen, Colorado and Stanford coming in at 11th and 12th. Wildcat head coach Jed Fish is all ready, today, he'll be ready to talk about college football at 10:30 this morning, and quarterback Jaden DeLora and cornerback Traden Sukes will hype up the fans at 10:55. Go Wildcats!
Good morning and a happy Friday. Looking at our high temperatures so far this month in Tucson, just a sea of red. We had one day near normal. Otherwise, temperatures have been at least 2 degrees above normal, above the daily climate normal, with most of these days between about 105 and 112 degrees. And these little yellow bars that we added here, those are new record highs. So we've had 5 of those so far this month. It's just been such a hot month, not only during the afternoon hours, but I've gotten some questions about our morning low temperature. So that's what this calendar is. We've had a lot of orange, so I made the morning lows above normal orange. We've had 12 of those, 7 near normal. Keep in mind your climate normal is 75 to 77, so our morning lows are not as cool this time of year. But we've only had 1 morning low below normal. That was the very first day of the month. So a lot of morning lows in the 80s, especially between the 7th and even into this week. Our excessive heat warning, this has been extended through Saturday evening. Once again, I've been showing this map a lot the last couple of weeks. All of southeastern Arizona below 5,000 feet of elevation, and we're feeling some of that warmth this morning. 84 in Tucson, 89 in Casa Grande, 94 up in Phoenix, 72 degrees currently in Sierra Vista. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today, mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will warm into the 90s and triple digits by lunchtime. By this afternoon, we'll start to see some isolated showers and storms pop up over the mountains, trying to move into the valleys off to the west and southwest. We can see the best really area for storm coverage, Graham, Greenlee, Cochise, and Santa Cruz counties. Most of Pima County staying dry, though we could see a stray shower overnight if we're lucky. Around 10 o'clock is what that model is showing. Drier conditions tomorrow morning, and then better storm coverage increasing throughout the evening. Of course, staying hot. We could break another record on Saturday. Better storm coverage takes us through next week with about a 40% chance for afternoon and evening storms.
It is 6:26 on the clock, and fire crews continue to fight fires around the state in this record-breaking heat. We're tracking the latest in several fires burning this morning.
And a new Salt River project bill could mean some new infrastructure on the way. This morning, we're finding out what that means for water and electricity.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us. Happening now, a $2,500 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of a man wanted for murder in South Tucson.
The suspect is accused of killing 21-year-old Lionel Matthews early on Wednesday morning. It's Friday, July 21st. You're watching 13 News Live this morning.
Celebrating 70 years of KOLD 13. Live, local, late breaking. You're watching 13 News Live this morning.
Take a good look at your screen right now. The Pima County Sheriff's Department and South Tucson Police are looking for this man, Christopher Rodriguez. Our search of court records shows Rodriguez has a lengthy criminal history and was on parole following his release from state prison in March. Authorities say if you see him, do not approach him. Instead, you are asked to call 911 right away or 88 Crime to remain anonymous.
And today, the Arizona Wildcats are getting ready to join 11 other teams at Pac-12 Media Day. If you want to hear the details on the new conference media deal, don't hold your breath. According to several reports, there will be no announcement about it when Media Day starts in Las Vegas. Head football coach Jed Fish is scheduled to speak at 10:30 this morning, followed by Jaden DeLora and Traden Sukes. And the excessive heat warning for southern Arizona continues. Right now, you're taking a live look from Mount Bigelow, where temperatures are probably cooler than they are where we are this morning in Marana. In Tucson, we've been making records with those triple-digit temperatures, but we might see some relief pretty soon.
And taking a look now at your weather with First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell this morning. Unfortunately, kind of just the same pattern. I know you're sick of talking about it.
Right.
And temperatures this morning, 84. I mean, it's not our worst that we've seen this morning.
We've been near 90 at some points. Yeah, but not as cool as what we saw yesterday either. Yesterday, we dipped into the upper 70s for a short period of time. That was all thanks to the rain cool there we felt on Wednesday and some of those outflow boundaries as well. But 84 right now in Tucson. Winds are moving around a bit, 10 miles per hour, dew point at 60. Temperatures should be in the triple digits by 11 o'clock in the morning, forecasting a high of 111 in Tucson this afternoon. Elsewhere across southern Arizona, 99 in Bisbee, 106 in Wilcox, 108 in San Manuel, 105 in Douglas, with the best chance for scattered showers and storms this afternoon and evening, once again to the south and east of Tucson. But we are going to see those storm chances increase this weekend. We'll talk much more about that coming up.
Well, this morning, crews are working to stop 2 Arizona wildfires that are burning in Cochise County.
Yeah, that's right. These fires are burning in the Texas Canyon area, and people living nearby are still on alert if they need to leave. The Adams-Robles complex consists of 2 fires burning the east and west sides of I-10 near Dragoon. In total, they have burned at least 3,500 acres. The fires have not merged, but they are being fought as one. The area between I-10, Dragoon Road, and Touchstone Trail is still under a set status this morning. We're told crews are battling the flames from the ground and air. About 150 personnel have been assigned to help. They say the concern has switched from the communications tower near the Robles fire to the impact the Adams Peak fire will have on I-10.
Don't park on the side of the road and stare at what's going on and get video and pictures. That's not a good idea, especially in that little corridor there through Texas Canyon. It could be really, really dangerous. So pay attention, you know, don't slow down and try to do something that might compromise your own safety.
Crews have already used air tankers in order to lessen the impact on the interstate. They say they hope to have this fire resolved within a day or 2. Meanwhile, we're also keeping an eye on another wildfire in the Catalina Mountains. The chimney fire started Wednesday night in a remote location on the eastern side of the mountains. It's burned at least 1,200 acres, but it's not threatening any buildings. Crews are making progress with help from the air, but they're still facing challenges due to the remote location and the extreme heat. The fire is burning within the scar of the 2020 Bighorn fire.
New details this morning. A bill aimed to prevent pay cuts for wildland firefighters has been given the green light. The Wildland Firefighter Paycheck Protection Act, introduced last week by Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema, makes the 2022 pay raises permanent. That means a special pay rate for federal firefighters will be put into place. The legislation also instructs agencies to develop a consistent policy related to wildland firefighter work balance to help combat burnout.
And happening now, as the state continues to deal with triple-digit temperatures, illegal border crossings, and this extreme heat, are proving to be deadly. Tucson Sector Chief John Molden says one of his agents, with the help of Sierra Vista Police, stopped a moving truck, the one you see there on your screen, after camera operators saw suspected migrants getting in near the border. He says the agents heard knocking from the cargo area. They found 9 migrants inside. We're told several of them required medical attention. The driver was arrested. According to Border Patrol, more than 100 migrants have died from heat this year along our southern border. And it's not just migrants being threatened by this extreme heat. Border Patrol agents are also at risk. Officials say agents walk through Yuma and Tucson deserts for hours and even days at temperatures over 110 degrees to track down people crossing illegally. They say if they're out for too long, it can be catastrophic.
While it may be monsoon, this record heat is intensifying our ongoing drought. This is the U.S. Drought Monitor from last week. As you can see, if we look at Arizona, southern Arizona specifically, there's really no color over southeastern Arizona, which means that last week there were no signs of drought in our region. But if we compare it to this week's Drought Monitor, you can see last week, this week, you're seeing a lot more yellow on your screen. So a vast majority of our area now in that yellow means that we are abnormally dry. In just a week, you can see a big difference. So with this in mind, you may have wondered, why are there so many car washes around town? In Marana alone, there are already 2 inside of town limits, and there are 3 more in the planning stages that are getting ready to be built. But believe it or not, taking your car to a car wash actually saves more water than if you were to wash your car at home. We're told a commercial car wash uses 30 to 40 gallons of fresh water per vehicle. If you were to wash your car in your driveway, though, research shows you can use more than 100 gallons of water per car. By being more efficient with its water use, car washes are able to utilize every single drop. Marana town leaders say they require at least 40% of water used at a commercial car wash to be recycled. They also tell us they make sure every car wash follows these guidelines before giving out permits, which allows car washes to be built. And of course, Mallory, as we see this heat continue, drought concerns continue as well.
That is right. So we really need the rain here in southern Arizona. Best chances for rain today will be to the south and east of Tucson, similar to what we saw yesterday. Yesterday's rainfall reports, the highest were around Sierra Vista and Huachuca City with about 0.4 of an inch of rainfall. Lower amounts from there across Graham, Greenlee, and Santa Cruz counties yesterday. Now, as we do take a look at our monsoon 2023 rainfall season to date totals, that's what you're seeing here in the left-hand column, and then our climate normals on the right. Most of us really falling behind where we usually are at this point in the season. Tucson about an inch behind, Nogales over 2 inches behind, Safford near normal, but the rest of us once again really feeling the impacts of this delayed start to the season. The good news is we do have some rain chances returning. Tucson looking to stay mostly dry today, though we could see a stray shower tonight. Better chances this weekend, especially by Sunday, and then staying pretty consistent next week. About a 40% chance of seeing those afternoon and evening storms in terms of how much rain we could pick up. Of course, it varies if you're under one of those stronger storms, but in general, up to around an inch for many of us. Those higher amounts in the deeper blues, up to 2 inches in some spots south of Tucson. But in the meantime, heat is still the big story today. We'll talk much more about our records coming up.
6:38 this morning. It's training they hope they will never have to use. How educators are preparing for a worst-case scenario ahead of the new school year.
Plus, a ruling is in on a controversial Arizona law. What comes next in the high-profile legal fight involving transgender girls playing sports? Thanks for sticking with us. On this Friday, we're hearing a reaction on Arizona's ban on transgender athletes in school sports. A federal court judge in Tucson has ruled to put it on hold. That means the 2 transgender girls involved in the case and all transgender girls here in this state are now able to play girls' sports in school. Attorneys representing both transgender girls argue they don't have an athletic advantage over biological girls in school sports, but the defense says transgender athletes are displacing other athletes and question the efficiency of medications that would block puberty. An attorney from the National Center for Lesbian Rights helped argue this case. She says this ruling is an important one.
This ruling follows the vast majority of courts that have ruled on these issues and have found that laws banning transgender girls from school sports are unconstitutional.
State Superintendent of Public Education Tom Horn released this statement. It reads in part, quote, "We will appeal this ruling. This will ultimately be decided by the United States Supreme Court, and they will rule in our favor." The plaintiffs in this case claim that this only involves prepubescent boys, but we presented peer-reviewed studies that showed prepubescent boys have an advantage over girls in sports. Superintendent Horn continues by saying the only expert presented by the plaintiffs was a medical doctor who has 0 peer-reviewed studies to support his opinion, end quote. We will continue to follow this case and bring you any updates that may come out of it.
Students in southern Arizona are not the only ones, though, preparing for the new school year. Some school staff have also been preparing by learning how they would handle an active shooter situation. It is all thanks to the training provided by the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Educators were put through scenarios like filing out because of a fire alarm and then being ambushed by a would-be gunman. Immediate response situations like this require a run, hide, or fight response. School resource officers and others training teachers and school employees make it clear that there is no wrong response, but this is the time to evaluate what they would do.
And our teams know, as the schools know, across this valley, the first thing we do is we do not wait for backup. We just don't. You don't have that time. So you go and address the threat. Take care of the threat. Backup's on its way, but you have to, the first guy there, first gal there has to address that threat.
The 25 or so participants also received Stop the Bleed training to handle serious wounds. We're told active shooter training could expand to hospitals and government buildings, but the first step is in schools. Happening today, it is the first day of classes for high school students in the Vail Unified School District. You'll remember that K-8 went back earlier this week, and now high schoolers, it's their turn. School leaders say they have filled every bus driver and teacher position despite shortages at other area districts. And speaking of schools, just a reminder, KOLD is teaming up with the Salvation Army for a 13 Cares for Classroom school supply drive to provide kids with what they need to succeed in school this year. From now through August 30th, you can help out by donating through that QR code you see there on your screen. You can also drop off a donation at one of the sponsors listed below. And then later this morning, 13 Cares will be holding the school supply drive all day at the Walmart Supercenter at Arizona Pavilions. We will be out there from 9 until 6 broadcasting live. For more information on the items you can donate, head to KOLD.com.
Good morning and happy Friday. Here's a look at our triple-digit tally so far this year. We've had 38 days in Tucson in the triple digits. Our normal is 68, so we're well on our way. But we're already at our climate normal for the entire year. That quota there, 26 of 105-degree days. And 12 of those days have been 110 degrees or hotter. That is a new record. Our normal is 2, and last year we only had 2. That was nice. Your out-the-door forecast for today, it could be another 110-plus degree day. 111 is what I'm forecasting under partly cloudy skies, hot and muggy. A stray storm not out of the question, but better chances to our south and east today. And then some increasing storm chances this weekend. 30% tomorrow, 50% on Sunday. Highs, it looks like we could tie, if not break, the record high again on Saturday, 108 by Sunday. So if you're wanting to cool off up in the mountains, head up to Mount Lemmon, head up to Summer Haven. Of course, those temperatures will feel a lot better in the low to mid 80s. Just keep in mind when we have storm chances, a lot of times they first form over the mountains and then move into the valleys. So get those outdoor activities in early this weekend. We'll take one last look at Tucson's 7-day forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
We're so excited. I've been playing with Barbie since I was a little girl, and now that they're making a new movie, I'm just like all for it.
It's fun to kind of revisit toys and memories from our youth, and I want the hero's journey, but pink.
I got my tiara on, I got everything on, I got the fit. I expect to be surprised, and that's kind of why I was here, to see if it is a commentary, if the message aligns with my views.
I'm expecting a lot of pink, a lot of laughs, and possibly just a new wave of cinema. And Barbie just really shows that you can be feminine and also have a career, and the other way around as well.
It's finally here. The Barbie movie is finally hitting the big screen, making its big blockbuster debut and expecting to be, if not one of the biggest movies of the summer. Now, they've gone above and beyond for the movie's promotions, merch, themed Airbnb Barbie houses, makeup, shoes, you name it, they've done it. And now it's taking a local approach. Ches Peachy Bento Cake Shop is also stepping into the Barbie takeover here in Tucson.
This weekend we have our first Barbie pop-up of the entire year, and I'm so excited to be doing this. It's going to be a 3-day pop-up, and it's going to be completing all your Barbie dreams come true, fully pink, not an ounce of neutrals, and we're going to have a variety of sweets from bento cakes to kawaii cookies, which will have some Barbie themed flavors like pink lemonade and pink snickerdoodle, and then we'll also have some pink cupcakes as well.
Now this pop-up will be up all weekend starting today at the Tucson Mall in the food court Starbucks area from 11 until she sells out, and it really is a Barbie takeover. So many other local businesses are joining the trend here in Tucson, and of course we'll have all that information for you over at KOLD.com. But look at how pretty these little
gorgeous.
cakes are.
They're so cute with like
Beyond
edible
cute.
pearls too. I don't know if you all can see
I
this,
love
but
it.
this one says Barbie Girl and it has a little bow on it.
Cute.
I'm sure it tastes even better than
Almost
it looks.
too pretty
smells.
to
You
eat.
can smell. I feel like it's strawberry cake. Like you can smell.
Right.
What are the flavors?
So the flavors are, which one's that one?
This
that
one says
is
F on
pink
it.
funfetti,
Oh.
pink champagne,
Oh, sorry guys.
and fresh strawberries.
Okay.
Oh my
So all
gosh, they
pink themed.
smell so good.
They are not only pink in the outside, but they are pink in the inside.
We love it through and through, just like us.
And a good
Just
way to
like
support
us.
local businesses too right now. I think a lot of people jumping on this theme, and why not support it here at home if you can?
Right. Rollies is having a themed Barbie sale going on, and so does Monster Hot Dog, and I know Playground is doing something as well. So I mean, you'll find it almost anywhere.
We love this. We're here to support, can't you tell?
Yeah, we're all Barbie Girl Day.
Exactly.
Well, you can find more information on our website, KOLD.com at 6:49 on your Friday morning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We start your morning sprint with the search of a man wanted for murder.
That's right. Right at this hour, a $2,500 reward is being offered for the information leading to his arrest. Christopher Rodriguez is accused of killing 21-year-old Lionel Matthews Wednesday morning. Rodriguez is considered armed and dangerous. Our search through a court record shows Rodriguez has a very long criminal history and was on parole following his release from state prison in March. If you see him, do not approach him. Instead, call 911 right away. Also this morning, crews are fighting 2 closely spaced wildfires in Cochise County.
The Adams Peak and Robles fires both started on Wednesday near Dragoon and are being fought as a single fire. The fires have burned more than 3,500 acres. 3,000 of that is from the Robles fire south of I-10. State Forest leaders say crews were able to protect first responder radio towers on the mountains. About 150 personnel have been assigned to help, along with air tankers.
Good morning and happy Friday. Records, we've been breaking them left and right all this week, all this month. Yesterday was no exception. Tucson hit a high temperature of 112 degrees, breaking the previous record of 109 set back in 1989. Nogales 108, the previous record was 99, so they really shattered that record. 112 in Safford, 107 was the record, and then you can see the trend here, 106 in Douglas, 102 the previous record there. Today's forecast could be another record breaker. 111 is our forecast high today in Tucson. Slight chance of seeing a shower or storm likely later on this evening and tonight. 103 in Sierra Vista, 106 in Nogales with a better chance for scattered storms this afternoon and evening. 109 degrees, your forecast high in Green Valley. And of course, this heat, it does continue. Excessive heat warning through tomorrow evening for all of southeastern Arizona below 5,000 feet of elevation. We're feeling some of that warmth this morning. 86 in Tucson, 89 in Casa Grande, 93 in Phoenix, more of those 70s down in Santa Cruz and Cochise counties this morning. Your hour-by-hour forecast here, partly cloudy skies on tap. Temperatures in the 90s and triple digits by lunchtime. By 2, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon, we start to see a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. But like yesterday, it'll likely be between Graham, Greenlee, Cochise, and Santa Cruz counties here, kind of rotating around that particular area, staying out of the Tucson metro until tonight, when we could see a few of those light showers linger in 10 o'clock tonight into even early tomorrow morning. But a better storm chance arrives starting this weekend and taking us through next week. So first alert action days today and tomorrow due to that excessive heat warning in effect. Likely more record highs possible across southeastern Arizona. And then by this weekend, Sunday, a 50% chance for storms, 40% pretty much all next week. So temperatures cool off a few degrees, but of course staying in the triple digits with overnight lows in the upper 70s and low to mid 80s.
I never thought I'd say that I'm looking forward to the rain.
Yes, that's what happens when you move to southern Arizona. You definitely look forward to monsoon.
Yeah.
It'll at least cool us off.
A little bit. Yeah.
Well, we need that. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here soon.
That's right.